In his book, Implementing Value Pricing, Ron Baker talks about a lack of imagination. There's no such thing as a commodity if you believe him. And he's a super bright guy, I believe him. There's no such thing as a commodity, there's just lack of imagination. So if you're in a position where you're not able to command the kind of money that you want to get the respect that you desire and the control that you need to be able to do your job, it's probably because you're a commodity and I'm gonna say you lack imagination. He points out in the book, at the grocery store, you can buy a head of lettuce. I looked it up, it's $1.69. Lettuce, commodity, right? I'm not gonna necessarily pay for more for the same head of lettuce. I'll just buy the cheap one. If they're both fresh and they both look good, I'm gonna buy that. So he's like, look at a head of lettuce, and with some imagination, we can charge a lot more for that head of lettuce. So if we were to take that head of lettuce and we were to hand leaf it and pre-wash it 3 times and we put it in a bag, that lettuce now is significantly more. And how many bags of lettuce could you make from one head of lettuce? 2, maybe 3. So has anybody bought like pre-wash hand leaf lettuce or cabbage? Or how much more is it? It's like $3? 4 or $5. Okay, let's say it's like $4. We do not know. And so I imagine, because there's not a lot in there from one thing, you could probably get 2, you could probably get 3, okay? And then how many of you guys are so busy that, yeah, I can buy that, but I want some more convenience because this is what you're buying now. You want to buy one of those like Wolfgang Puck Express Caesar salad deals. Okay, you're shaking your head, but some of you are nodding because you've done it. So now we'll put in a piece of plastic, same lettuce, we'll throw in some croutons, right? And a little package of dressing. What will that cost? At least. It's Wolfgang Puck, guys. He don't cook for nobody. Let's say it's $11.99. I don't know. My wife shops at Gelson's, so everything's more than it needs to be. Same amount of lettuce. I think maybe half of the lettuce in a bag. So they've taken half of it and they put it in there, and now they sell it for a lot more. You see the difference that's already happened here? What are they applying? A little branding, a lot of imagination. Is that something that you can do? But I know that you guys are tough customers because you're creatives and you just don't like to change. Even though you talk about everybody should stretch out of the comfort zone, when it comes to yourself, it's better to dish out the medicine than to eat it, right? So in his book, Implementing Value Pricing, Ron says you can actually even charge more for money. How's that even possible? Like if I told you right now, I have $1 for sale, would you pay me more than $1 for my dollar? You shouldn't, but some of you will, because you're like, hey, it's a special dollar. If you sign it, if you do something, maybe it's worth more, right? That's why we buy autographed things. Can somebody just do me a favor? Look on your phone, whoever's got a stock app, look up the price of Disney right now.
It's $98.99.
$98.99. Okay, and that's Disney, D-I-S, right? One share of Disney stock, $98.99. Practically $99 right now. Would you buy this for 100, 110? What is this worth? No, it's worth $98.99. If you pay $99, you paid a cent more. And why would you do that, right? But did you know this? There's a company that buys blue chip or sells blue chip stock, and they sell one issue of stock, and then they frame it, and depending on the frame that you buy, this one stock costs more, and they sell it for $150. And you're like, what? All they did was put it in a frame, and they printed out a representation of the stock, and what grandparents do is they give this to their grandchildren. It's only worth $98, but they can sell it, say, for $150. So are you convinced yet that there's no such thing as a commodity? If we can literally take a commodity, a currency, and charge more for it, inject a little bit of imagination, we are now differentiated. Kid gets the gift. It's the gift that keeps giving, because in 10, 20, 30 years, that will not be worth $100 anymore. Hopefully it'll be worth a lot more than that. I just want you to take a moment and just look at your own life and your career and think about it. If you're stuck, is it because you're really stuck or you lack imagination? It's the hard truth. Like, I only came to Adobe Max with 2 things, truths and candy, and I'm all out of candy. I'm sorry to say. I only have truths for you at this point. So go back and think about what it is that you're doing and apply some imagination to it. Now, what happened here? How did this company come upon this magical solution to take something that's a commodity and figure out a way to sell it for a lot more than what it's worth? What did they do? Now, if you're paying attention to Peter Drucker, he says a business has one valid purpose, which is to create a customer. So they took this and they're like, who would ever buy this? They found a customer, grandparents, people who want to give gifts that keep on giving. Instead of giving a toy, they give something that could grow in value. Some parents or grandparents give seeds, they grow for different reasons. Some of them give stock certificates, and they only buy blue chip companies because you don't want that gift to go down in value. Makes sense, right? You have to create a customer. So think about that. When you go home tonight, when you're lying in bed thinking about this conversation, would you think back about your lack of imagination, why you accept that you're a commodity right now, and you volunteer for it so that the market can look at you like a head of lettuce, that you're no different than another head of lettuce. Oh, you're a web developer? There's 10 more. You're undifferentiated. Undifferentiated companies die because there's a race to the bottom, and there's a lot of you at the bottom. Let's get our way out, okay?